Yep, things are wet. Well, not wet, they're damp. It was just little sprinkles here and there off and on last night. And between 3 and 5 o'clock, it rained enough to actually make a little noise on the roof. But, you know, not enough to float the float. Yeah, not enough to float the float, so we'll see what it brings, you know. Maybe it didn't screw that up there, maybe it did. Although, about the time I put yesterday's video up, I was looking out the window and it was raining clear across the ridge from end to end, so down here might be alright, but the field up above, it hadn't been broke up yet. Maybe it'll be okay. Got to get there first. And yeah, we'll see what happens. All I know is I need more. It's still almost full. I just haven't finished it yet. I just need more that way. I just had to show you this little boy. That's Dancer's kid. See if I can do this. He is wider than my foot is long. If it wasn't for the shape of his head, he'd make one hell of a bull rider. I don't like the shape of his head. It's too wide at the top. It should look more like her head. Makes me easier calving that way. But he is a chunk. And yes, he's hurting my ass because I haven't got down and got his green doing yet. And they're all getting better in here, but they're still a little wily. And I had to put more of that in the other day. Let's see if I had tenacious earth. This group's at least eating on it. I better appease him before he gets too upset. At least he lets me set the thing in there. He's actually mellowed out this year, and I don't know why, but I'm not arguing about it. He's been a pretty good boy. And on the other side of the Versatile, the dogs have a rat in the pallets that are stacked over there. So hopefully they're not destroying too much stuff. They haven't even come over to touch their food yet because they're too busy over there. Okay, finger time. Those pallets. There's one on the other side of it. That's where it was. They were all around that. Apparently when I got up here, it slipped out and it went over and outside and underneath the tin that is stacked outside. So they were all the way around that 54-foot long tin out there. And all of a sudden, Blue ran into what used to be the old wash rack, which is between the head gate and there's another gate out there. He ran that away in there. And I watched the rat come around, and there's a black pipe right there. It actually was made for a squirrel bait station. Worked for rats too. Hasn't any bait in it for a long time. Little bugger ran right into there. They can't get in there to get to it. But on another note, I got like 4 more little bastards here in the barn yesterday. And they're patiently waiting. Isn't that nice? They can patiently wait. I'm going to waste too much video on showing everybody in here off and not getting any work done today. But I know a few of you are here for the cows. Like Bam Bam, who's still patiently waiting. He's waiting for me to walk down with a bucket. Then he'll go down to his hole. So I better do that. There's that big cow that was standing next to him the other day. I do believe that's still the youngest calf that's in this group. And it's not the smallest calf anymore, I don't think. Anyway, get these spread out and in the feeder and they'll be happy.
There's how smart people are around here. It intersects there with a blind hill. He comes flying over it without stopping at the stop sign, anchors the brakes, and turns around in the middle of the road. Nah. Keep in mind, that road's barely wider than the disc is. Good thing he's got a small car. But that's how brilliant they are. They can't go the other 100 feet and turn around in the driveway. And it rained a couple hours this morning, early, before the sun come up. But it actually dried up pretty good. It's a little nasty down in there, outside round. But I think finished going over with this one, and I'm going to move it up on top of the hill, and I got a little bit of stuff I got to cut up where they run the skidded the logs across. That's got to get cut up so we can even get across it. And come back down, get me a ride, get the drill hooked up to the bulkpacker and fill it with some seed. And I'm pretty sure I'm just going to have Ty go ahead and run that little disc ahead of me. I may let her get a few rounds ahead first. At least with the 2294 plant, I'm not going to run her over. I mean, if I was planting with this tractor, I'd be running her over. I'd plant about 6 to 8 miles an hour, depending on how steep the hills are. I can get 8 to 10 acres an hour without too much trouble with this one. But with the other one, we do good to get 5 acres an hour. So, anywho, hopefully we can get that done before it rains later. Because now they're saying rain today. Can you tell? 20% today, 60% tomorrow. That's at 90% over the weekend. And 0% next Tuesday. They'll probably change it again here in another half an hour. Either won't have any rain coming or it's just going to be 100%, you know. But anyway. Dang, people are freaking stupid. I just met an idiot who had to stop directly across from a road sign. If I clear the road sign, I'm hanging over that side of the pavement over there. I'm going uphill. I don't like to stop. He had a road he could turn into, but he swerved into it, pulled back out, and kept going until we met at the road sign. That X up here, he's a little smarter. He's trying to get over. Yeah, I know, this land ain't straight. That's because I had little issues spinning out where it curves. So, tractor slid downhill, and that's where I took it. Still got to do that little neck down there. I'd love it if somebody brought up a few million yards of dirt and filled that canyon in. We'd work her straight across then. But, you know, that's never happened. The old boy that owned this place, his son happens to own the tire shop we normally deal with. He did this on his own for years. He cat farmed this. That was pasture there. And most of, from where you can see that, where I worked up and down the hill where they skidded logs out, from about there on over the other way, that was all pasture too. And back then, behind me, this went up another quarter mile. But there's only about 12 acres here now that's tillable. What's behind me is one boy owns. His daughter got this after he passed, and she sold it. Didn't want to keep it in the family. Anyway, little history. And can't quite show you the view. I wasn't quick enough at the other end. Since they logged across the road, you can see far north as you want. At least see to the mountain before the Columbia River. If we were a little higher, we could see over that and look into Washington. But we're not. And if we could see Mount Hood, it'd be over that way. But between the trees and the clouds, so much for that. Filling the hard way, but it's a whole lot easier than bags. Yeah, truck's easier, but this one was only a partial, and rather than screw it,
what's in the truck. There's enough in the truck to do about 30-35 acres all at one time. And I have a couple places when I go there. I need the truck full and the drill full when I leave. Up there's not one of them, but I'll need more than a drill full at the place where I started disking today. Because this drill clear full, stuffed to the brim, barely get 11 acres. So you gotta see if she can play with that and knock it over. She better not. Well, it's been a lot of years since this old girl was planted. On my 5th round, I started here in this corner because I had to wait for Ty. She's around ahead of me. But there you got her. And like I said, it's been a lot of years since this one's planted. Wheel spacing on it is different than the 3394. Front end on this is 9.5 foot wide. The outside of the tires and it's 8 foot. And that's kind of what you go by. We're still 12 foot on the outside of the duals. Actually, this one I think is right on 12 foot, and the other one's 12.4. And the drill is a 12 foot drill. And I cover 12 feet with it. I don't like to leave rabbit tracks. I know a few people that have been known to surpass rabbit tracks and leave elk tracks. And I have given those people a hard enough time over the years that I don't dare leave a rabbit track. Though I know I'm close, I'm within a couple inches. I kind of pride myself on doing it right. But honest, I've planted with a 3394 for probably, God, at least 15 years. That's how long it's been since this one's planted. The last time this one did plant was with a no-till drill that we borrowed. And it worked out the same with the tire tracks, because the tire tracks were wider. It was still a 12 foot drill, but the way the tire tracks worked out. This one and the other, I followed the same mark. And here I can scooch uphill a little bit because everything else runs downhill. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you we're up here and it don't look too bad. I pulled in and run the teeth down a little bit, about where I thought they should be, and then I got going. I can run them a little deeper, so the back teeth are running in probably at least 2 inches. The front teeth are just scratching. If I go much more than that, there's probably enough grass in here to get me trouble. But I'm not having any trouble. And if you can see, I can see the dirt flying off the front ones. In the wheel track, they're not. But out of the wheel track, it is. And the back is flinging dirt on all of it. And I just slapped at least one opener coming up the hill. But that's alright. I gotta laugh because most guys around here anymore, the big guys are running a 14-foot drill. They only cover 12 feet. Literally, there's at least a foot and a half of overlap. And it's like, yeah, that's why when you're done, you can say you got so many more acres than we do. That makes a big difference when you pull into a 100-acre field and you're overlapping that much. Anyway, and oops, that little furrow's left open. Hopefully she gets it closed up, because that might not get closed up with the cultivator. I'd usually get it to do it, but not always. Anyway, we'll get this piece done, and she'll get that other tractor. Look, there she is. She'll get that one moved up on the hill, and up the hill. And I'll take this thing home and back the drill in the shed someplace. So if it rains, I don't get the drill wet. I don't want to take it up on the hill and tarp it. That doesn't always work out unless you absolutely have to. And I'm, barely 2 miles from home. So anyway, that's what we're getting done today. And yeah, I could go up one here, but she can't go any faster, so I can't go any faster.
she goes any faster, that little disc will start walking, and then I'd be following her going like this. And I don't need that any more than you need it. Well, it's done. And I'm just sitting there waiting for a second or two, because there's Becky with Ty. Ty took the other tractor out the bugs. We're going to go move some things around, so I got somewhere to put this.
She's chicken. She didn't want me to lower the loader anymore. I don't know why. Man, look how wet that still is down there. I got a feeling a bunch of that where it's brown, the mud probably smothered the grass. She's busy flipping an airplane off. Had to do a little flyover. Those freaking idiots. They ain't even supposed to be anywhere close to the ground here. Anyway, we're getting some of these bales out of the way, and we're going to move a couple in case we need to feed some while it's raining for the next week. So I can weasel the grain drill under a roof. And I don't know if you can see them or hear them, but the barn swallows are all over here. And we're going to feed 3 more bales in there because they're pretty well empty. And we already fed them. So, always something, right?